All right. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Terry Luongo here, reporting for duty. I hope that you are well tonight. I hope you had a great weekend. And I want to just put the world on pause for a bit because summer's almost over. And I'm not ready to say goodbye. It's what, the 22nd of August, and there's just one more Monday night, and then it's September. And so, okay, I don't have that ability. I can't put the world on pause. So I'm going to enjoy really the last week of summer here on the Oregon coast. So tonight, I know we're a smaller group, but guys, got two really great recorded messages that I'm sharing with you tonight. So let me tell you a backstory. Last Wednesday, every Wednesday I work with my special friend here, Kathy Schlun, and we go through all sorts of administrative things, and we're looking at plans and how can we better provide value. And one of the things, Kathy, we were talking about was that in days gone by, when we had something called voice comm, every single day, I mean, Nancy McCarter was a part of that, and Judy Strickler was a part of that, and Martha might have been. We got messages from the most amazing doctors like Dr. Pam Popper, who would talk about different topics and how nutrition applied and how Juice Plus applied within that category. I tell you, we'd listen to this day in, day out, day in, day out. And it's, every single one of us could have gotten PhDs in nutrition just by being exposed to this information. And that's very much lacking today, because what did that do when we would get these daily messages? Nancy McCarter, raise hand, bulletproof, right? When it came to Juice Plus, Judy, bulletproof. There was nothing that you could say to me. There was no challenge that you could bring to me that I wasn't confident in saying, well, have you ever thought of nutrition? And have you ever thought of Juice Plus? We were bulletproof. And so, because I'm on so many different Voxer threads today, I still kind of get those messages, but nobody is exposed to them. You guys don't hear what I hear because I'm on all of these NMD chats. So I thought a new aspect to the Monday night call could be maybe once a week when I find something that's noteworthy that I will share it with you. Okay, so what we're going to do first before we get into Dr. Tamara Sachs, and that her interview is vulnerable, it's real, is a special message from Julie Herbst talking about the Perform that she recorded maybe a week ago. And I'm going to tell you, if you guys have your boards on your phone, this message needs to go into your boards under Perform. It is the best Perform message I have ever heard. So much so that I'm going to start drinking it. All right. So see, because I've never really been compelled to really drink it. All right. So we're going to start with Julie Herbst, then we're going to roll into Dr. Tamara Sachs. So Julie's message is only 5 minutes long, but I guarantee you every single one of you is going to say, I need that message, Terry. All right. So go ahead, Kathy, roll. Julie, guys, just take a listen. It's so powerful.
The Juice Plus company has created a plant-powered shake mix called Perform that is geared toward performance, not just for elite athletes. This is really designed for anybody with an active lifestyle. Doesn't matter if you exercise once a week or 4 or more times a week. This is really for everybody who's interested in better performance. And we were blessed to learn about the Perform from Lisa Pebble. Lisa, of course, was on the team that created the Perform. And she explained to us that the Juice Plus company wanted to achieve 4 things with the new Perform. Number 1, a good amount of protein. So the Perform is for people who want to increase protein in their diet and get more for their workouts. And she said the goal was for this shake mix to contain only plants, and they achieved that. So number 1, a good amount of protein. Number 2, they wanted the Perform to have enough protein to support muscle growth. Number 3, to promote energy production. And number 4, to aid in recovery. The Juice Plus Perform has 25 grams of vegan protein coming from soy. I love soy. It's a superfood. And when we think about the healthiest populations on the planet, they all consume a couple of servings of good non-GMO soy every day. The Juice Pulse company knows how to grow good soy. We have some of the largest non-GMO soy fields in the world. And the Juice Plus company water washes the soy. What does water wash mean? It is the lowest processing of soy that you can do. And so that means the soy is as close to the plant as possible. And that's really the story of the Juice Plus company. They want to create products where they're plant-based and as close to the plant. So I love that. Soy is the most elite protein source you can get. It's safe for everyone. It contains 9 essential amino acids, and it's highly digestible. Soy is the only single source of vegan protein that your body recognizes and can fully use to make things that it needs to support muscle growth and other things in your body, like collagen. Did you know that the only way your body can use collagen is if your body makes it on its own? We should not have to consume collagen. And this is a really important conversation because there's a big collagen craze going on right now in the marketplace. People are consuming collagen products. But the truth is, when you ingest collagen, your body breaks it down the exact same way that it does when you ingest a high quality protein that has amino acids. But it's much healthier for your body to ingest good high quality protein like the soy in Perform, because then your body uses those amino acids in that protein to make different components, one of which is collagen. That's the right way to do it. And you increase the chance of your body making collagen when you couple that awesome plant protein like soy that has all those amino acids with other great foods that contain nutrients like vitamin C, zinc, magnesium. That is a recipe for great performance, okay? And that's exactly what's happened in the Perform shake mix. So the soy is first, and then what are the other foods that accompany the soy? First, guava, mango, and lemon. These are all good sources of B vitamins, and they give you energy. Next, acerola cherries. These contain naturally occurring vitamin C. Also, mushroom powder, which contains naturally occurring vitamin D. And by the way, mushroom powders support that collagen production too. And then finally, there's tart cherry and beetroot. And these ingredients are loaded with polyphenols that help aid in muscle recovery. So soy, guava, mango, lemon, acerola cherries, mushroom powder, tart cherry, and beetroot. The Perform is exactly what a lot of people are looking for today. So let's go out there and share this incredible product with everyone.
Did you learn anything? I loved the education about collagen in this message, because you know the collagen craze, it's a moneymaker out there. And this is spot on. I love this message. So I'm going to make sure that it's represented in our boards. And anybody wants the message directly from me, just Voxer me and I'll send it to you because it is that good. So I'm hoping that once a week I can find a snippet like that that will continue our education about our Juice Plus products. Okay. All right. So next, how many of you, I mean, there's not a whole lot of us here. Oh, there's 20 of us. You just numbers jump. Has anybody ever seen Dr. Tamara Sachs speak in person? I have. So has Judy. We sat, and Nancy, and yeah, she's brilliant. She is a brilliant, brilliant practitioner. And so this interview, this is Christy, our friend Christy Cruel, who was on the call with me a couple of weeks ago, is interviewing Dr. Sachs. And Dr. Sachs is vulnerable, and she's real, and she's approachable, and she's emotional. So with that, Kathy, go ahead.
up too. So y'all, I know you don't want your people to miss hearing from her. Okay, so Dr. Tamara Sachs, who I can call a dear friend of mine, graduated with honors from the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York City, and she completed her residency in internal medicine in New Haven, Connecticut at Yale University Medical Center and St. Raphael Hospital. Prior to obtaining her bachelor's degree in molecular biology and physiology at Hunter College in New York, Dr. Sachs studied naturopathic medicine for several years in France. She was an emergency medicine doctor in New Haven for 5 years, then a primary care doctor for 10 years after that. Since 2003, she's been a functional medicine doctor, preventing and treating the root causes, not just the symptoms of chronic illness. She sees patients in her office in her New Milford, Connecticut, as well as virtually from all over the world. Her website is full of great information and vetted resources. I tell you, I was just telling Mark Jenkins the other day, you want to learn about a certain topic, call Tamara Sachs. She will have all the vetted clinical information. You can check all of this out at TSachsMD and follow her on social media. It is my pleasure to turn this over to Dr. Sachs.
Good evening, everybody, Juice Plus family and guests. It's always fun to do these calls. I appreciate you inviting me, Christy and Lauren. If you're a guest, just give me a second. If you're in the business, you really do want to take advantage of Lauren's offer and be there. I was at the last. It was the first trip I took actually post COVID. Was the Vegas Level Up event. And I don't regret a moment of it. We had a blast, right, Christy? And learned a ton. So, and that's why I'm gonna go back next year, even though it's 7 hours flying for me to get to Vegas. It's worth it. So anyway, I'm here tonight to share a little bit about my 21-year journey with Juice Plus and why I haven't missed a day in 20 odd years and why I don't intend to miss a day for as long as I live, and why I recommend it to every single patient. So that's my topic. Christy, interrupt me at any point to ask a question or lead me on a different path, because I love talking about Juice Plus and I can do it for a long time. It's one of the things I believe very strongly about and feel very strongly about. So that wasn't true initially. When I was first introduced to Juice Plus, I thought it was complete hogwash. I essentially made fun of it and said, you can't put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. That's ridiculous. Too good to be true. Therefore, it's not true. Go away. And I don't remember this, honestly, but the woman that got us, my late husband and I both involved in taking the product and eventually becoming part of the business was Tamara Francis. I don't remember this, but the story is told, right? There's a myth out there that for 2 years, Frances tried to get me to look at Juice Plus, and she finally got smart in 2 ways, and she talked to my late husband, Joe, instead, who was much kinder than I was and much more open to listening. But really the thing she got smart about, and that I encourage you all to be smart about, is she gave me the research. And at the time, 21 years ago or so, there were 5 published studies. Now there are 42, 20 odd years later. Massive. No supplement on the planet has done that much research in 20 years. Back to the beginning. These 5 studies, I was a researcher, Christy shared some of my background, but I wanted to be a researcher. That's why I went to Mount Sinai, to be a clinical researcher. Didn't turn out that way, thank goodness. I'm a terrible researcher, but I learned how to read research. And so when I read these 5 studies, primarily on what's called the bioavailability of Juice Plus, meaning proof that in clinical trials in people with placebo controls, with really well done methodology, with state-of-the-art measuring levels of antioxidants and free radicals and things I didn't know we could measure, because even though I was a molecular biologist, when I graduated from school, we couldn't measure that stuff. Now here it was 25 years later, and we could. When I read those 5 studies, I was blown away. I was literally blown away. So blown away that between you and I read the 67 reference studies of the first bioavailability study. I still have them in a box somewhere in the basement, I swear to God. This is before internet was easy. This is when I went to the hospital library and ordered the studies and got them delivered to me in paper, right? Just dating myself. Anyway, The studies convinced me. I literally haven't missed a day because of the research. So, so for those of you that are brand new, what is this stuff? And maybe even for those of you that aren't so brand new, it's good to be reminded, you know, why we take this if we do, and why we should consider it if we don't. So the foundation of health is nutrition. We call nutrition biochemistry, molecular biology. Every name in the book, every doctor studies biochemistry, molecular biology, all the components that are really just nutrition. They're all magnesium and calcium and iron, and they're nutrition. They're just not called nutrition. And then in medical school, they get very nutritional training, but we talk a lot about nutrition. It's just not called that. That's because everything in biology depends on nutrition. Like we eat for a reason, right? If we didn't have to eat, that would be easy, right? We have to. Everybody has to. Every living creature needs to get nourishment of some kind. It kind of makes sense that the quality of that nourishment would determine the quality of our health. It's like not rocket science, right? It turns out to be true. You can eat junk food all day and you'll survive, but you will not be optimally healthy. You can eat a really good diet and be optimally healthy. You may or may not thrive. There's a lot more to thriving, but you need at least the foundation of health, which is in fact nutrition. And then the foundation of nutrition is plants. We only are here on this planet because of plants. Everything depends on plants. The animals you eat plants, right? Even folks in the Arctic who don't eat a lot of plants because it's the Arctic, they eat seals and animals that eat sea vegetables. Everything depends on vegetables, whether you're at the bottom of the food chain or the top. Without plants, we don't exist. So it's easy enough in this culture of ours to get enough protein. We get enough starch. We get enough fat. Whether it's good fat or bad, we get enough of it, right? The one thing we do not get consistently in this culture, in this society, whether you're Canadian or American or European, really, is enough vegetables, is enough colorful plants. And the ones that we get tend to be highly hybridized, right? Apples in the wild were not sweet, they were bitter. Things that our ancestors ate were bitter. They ate bark, they ate tubers, they ate stuff that was really strong. And the stronger the taste and the bitterness, the more antioxidants, the more phytonutrients there are in it. So our food has been grown to be sweeter and bigger and prettier and easier to transport across the world and easier to look pretty on a shelf so that we buy it, and heavier because we pay by the pound instead of paying per nutritional concentration, right? That's what the agricultural world has done. So we're getting food that is pretty and sweet, but doesn't have as much nutrition as even our grandparents, let alone our great-grandparents, or the further back you go, the more nutritious the food was. So because of monoculture in the middle of the country, because of all sorts of things that we do to the way we process and grow our food, the quality of our produce has decreased a lot. And simultaneously, the toxicity of the planet has increased dramatically. In 1 to 2 generations, the amount of toxins that we are all exposed to, no matter how hard you try not to be, you are. That has never happened in the world before, right? We know that every single baby, well, 99.9, are born currently with over 300 chemicals in their umbilical cord blood at birth, meaning that's the soup they were born in. That's the soup they developed in. So we have the most toxicity ever and the worst nutrition ever. And the big problem with that is the antidote to toxicity happens to be nutrition. The only antidote to toxicity is nutrition. And so we're in this combination place that I think is really the bulk of the cause of the tsunami of chronic illness that we're all looking at, arthritis and diabetes and blood pressure and heart disease, and all of these chronic illnesses happening to younger and younger people in the last just simply 2 generations. So, you know, we used to call it adult onset diabetes. You won't hear that anymore because it's happening in 8 and 9-year-olds all the time, routinely, not rarely, right? When I went to school a mere 30 odd years ago, because I was a child, there was one, encyclopedia of pediatric cancers. There are now hospitals of pediatric cancer in every state in the country. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily connected, but these are facts. The amount of autoimmune disease has quadrupled, has gone like this if you graph it. The age of heart attack victims has gone like that if you graph it. So we're really in a bad place. And so there's a lot of reasons, right? There's socioeconomic reasons, there's trauma, there's poverty, there's places you can't buy good food even if you knew to buy it. I'm not making it, simply just this. Understand that I know it's more, but we here can do these things we're going to talk about tonight to change the world. And that's all I can really focus on. I can't fix everything, but I can fix what I can fix. I can work at what I can work at. So I'm encouraging you to learn the importance of this and share it with others in whatever way you feel suited to do that. I don't mean that it has to be the business at all. Just share this knowledge, because this is how we're going to change the health of this country. So I digress. So Juice Plus provides those essential nutrients that I just explained that we're deficient in. The densely nutritious plant foods that are grown just the opposite of what I described. Juice Plus Company grows everything from seed themselves. They either own or long-term lease the land. The farmers that grow the food that make Juice Plus are intimately connected with the Juice Plus Company, sometimes generationally. These farmers know exactly what we're looking for, and they are thrilled to give us their best, because that's what they're looking for, someone who will appreciate their best. And so there's this lovely symbiotic relationship. So for example, there's 40 kinds of broccoli. The ones we get in the store is sweet and pretty. The ones they grow are ugly and bitter. Ugly, you'd never buy them. Bitter, you'd never eat them. But they have way more nutrition, that species of broccoli, than the ones that we buy. And that's entirely the philosophy of this company, is how do we get the most nutritious food, grow it ourselves so that we know it's grown properly in healthy soil, and then harvest it at peak ripeness when you get the most nutrition, and then freeze it immediately or almost immediately on site almost all the time to lock in that nutrition. And then we're going to pulverize it in like these room-sized Vitamixes. I've seen them, they're really cool, like stainless steel 2-story Vitamixes. They just throw all the cleaned and tested produce in there. And when it's possible, they include the skin and the seeds and the stems, right? The core of the pineapple, what you don't eat, has the most enzymes, but it's tough as wood. The stems of the grapes, that's where all the resveratrol is. You don't eat the stems of the grapes, do you? They have to be Concord grapes to get the most benefit from nitric oxide production. You can't get those everywhere all year round, right? You can't get Astilla cherries in this country except if you import them at a certain specific time of the year. And so it goes and so it goes. So even if you tried to eat the variety of produce that goes into Juice Plus, good luck. You can't get it at every season, even if you could afford it, right? It would have to be flown a long ways, and then it would no longer be vine ripened and all the rest. So I think really the benefit is the seeds and the skin and the stems. There's more nutrition in the skin of an orange or the skin of a lemon than there is in a whole bunch of orange juice. So all of that goes into this big Vitamix thing, and then it's made into this just thin film. The water's just blown off at low temperatures, and you end up with this thin, you can see a picture of it on videos, and then it's broken into a powder, put into capsules, boom, that's it. So it has a nutrition facts label, not a supplement label, because everybody agrees, the FDA agrees, it's nothing but food. There's nothing but food in it. If we need to supplement the plus part of Juice Plus, like some extra folate, we use extra lemon peel. For some extra vitamin D, we use some mushrooms. So it's always food-based. So the label is a nutrition facts label, which is totally unique. I don't know of any other capsule. I have a huge pharmacy in my office. There's no other capsule I know of that has a food label. So it's cool, it's food. It's the food we need to eat that we can't eat, that even if we could get, we wouldn't eat because it's bitter and disgusting and hard to chew, all made into an available, affordable, easy to take capsule. Like, what's not to love? Like, that's perfect, right? So that's the first question that you have for me, Christy, is you want to go from there? You want me to keep going?
Well, you can keep going. I'll just lob one quick question in, and then maybe you can keep going if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So, you know, we talk about how things are absorbed better in the body when you have better cellular nutrition. So when you're taking, like, for example, we have the study that the omega-3 index goes up faster if you take the fruit, veg, and berry, not along with the omega versus just the omega. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
sometimes people see things get better, like osteoporosis gets better, osteopenia gets better, and it's hard to understand. I guess that's probably two questions.
That's okay. It all melds together. So,
Yeah.
so what people have been misled to think because of the drug model is that one problem has one solution and one symptom have one solution and one cause, when that's not at all how the body works. The only way that works is an infectious disease. Pneumococcal infection, penicillin, boom, you're good. Everything else in the body other than infections do not work that way. The way the body works is that every cell knows what every cell is doing at the same time, right? This is magic, right? And so the optimal function of every single cell in your body affects every single cell in your body. We don't feel that, right? There's a cellular, molecular level where you need nutrition to function optimally, and then cells get together and make tissues, and then they get together and make organs, and then they get together and make systems, and all of that depends on the function of the first cell. And then when systems go wrong, you might feel a symptom. But there's a bunch of levels before that, that if you fix it down here, you may never know that you fixed it, which is great. It's called prevention, right? So that's number one. So you get, so the second part of your question is something I'm often quoted as saying, no nutrient works alone. There is no antibiotic equivalent in a nutrient. There's no penicillin will kill all these bugs. No. Every nutrient needs a whole bunch of buddies. Every nutrient is involved in a bunch of molecular pathways that are all interconnected. And so, you know, when vitamin D is missing, every single cell in the body is affected by that. When thyroid is off, some of you know this, right? Every single cell in the body is off because thyroid regulates the temperature, among other things. And when you change the temperature of living things, you change everything. So no nutrient works alone. Every nutrient works together, and there's a weakest link in the chain. So you may take all this great supplements and stuff, but if you don't have enough plant-based antioxidants, you're going to have free radical damage. And no amount of isolated multivitamins is going to fix that. That's not how we are designed. We are designed to eat food. That's the way we've been for up until the nutrition supplement industry just a second ago in the scheme of things. So we need to absorb these nutrients. Juice Plus makes that doable because the powdered form makes it very bioavailable. That's the research that they've done now 20 times. Like I saw 20 years ago. There are now 20 studies that prove over and over and over two important things, actually. The Juice Plus polyphenols and all the other plant-based nutritionals get into the bloodstream. That's been proven for 21 years over and over and over. More importantly, we've also proven that then affects the way these cells function. So we see lowering of blood pressure, lowering of blood sugar, improved elasticity of arteries, quicker healing after surgery. We see fewer wrinkles. We see, oh my God, I can't remember all the lists, right? You know, the list goes, better memory. Oh my God, the brain study, right? Better cognitive abilities, better memory. I couldn't even remember that. I need to take more Juice Plus. All the studies have shown improved effect on the actual function of your body and that it's absorbed into the cell. So it's like double proof, if you will, that this stuff is the missing link to what we need. So I'm not going to go into your osteoporosis question just now, Christy. We can get to it at the end if you want. Let me just, because I thought about it just now, let me just tell you two more things about why I take it and recommend it to finish up, and then we can move on to your questions. So I mentioned it's food. It's the food that we need. It's food that's grown specifically and processed specifically to be densely nutritious. It's been shown to be absorbed, right? It has a food label. I'm all about food. I'm the plant food doctor, right? It's all about food. But the other two things that are critical, that the reason I'm here is because it's cleaner than organic. The produce is checked when it's first arrives from the farm. The produce is checked along the way of manufacturing. The product is checked at the end for herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals, you name it, right? It's this panel of 360 plus different pesticides, herbicides. It's the most comprehensive spectroanalysis that we have. Then the company hands it off to an independent lab to check one more time. So it's trust and verify, which I love because I'm a scientist. I want that extra level of proof that this stuff is really, really clean, or I wouldn't take it. And I do, so it's clean. And then the last we got to in the beginning is the research. So those are the reasons I take it. Those are the reasons I recommend it to everybody, because there's no human being who eats 30 to 45 different plants every single day in a bioavailable form. Can't be done any
Well,
other
that's a
way.
great segue into my next question. So what do you say to the patient or the person that says, oh, you know what, Dr. Sachs, I'm just gonna start to eat better, or, you know, or I'm gonna put the family on a diet, we're gonna start shopping better. What do you say to that person?
Say, give me 4 months. Give this 4 months, because that'll give you the time to overlap and get your act together and start doing different shopping and get the family used to more vegetables. I'm all for it. I want you to eat more vegetables, but you won't get to 35 or 40 a day anytime soon, if ever. And sometimes I just tell people, I just laugh and say, that's great. The day you're eating 45 different plants every single day, you can stop your Juice Plus. We'll give you a couple months, see how that goes. And I just laugh, right? Because it's not possible. So I encourage both. I do not want people to think that Juice Plus takes the place of eating well. It does not. But you can't get there fast, and you probably can't get there at all. And the whole reason we're into prevention, and that for decades people took multivitamins, was to bridge the gap, right? We knew for 30, 40 years for multivitamins that we needed a little extra, a little something to make sure we're getting everything. That's what Juice Plus is. It's the modern equivalent of a multivitamin. So yes, eat better. Yes, get your family to eat better. But do this in the meantime, number one. And number two, when it comes to kids that take Juice Plus develop cell memory. We all do, but kids it's obvious. And they start wanting to eat more produce. It's universal. It happens in a 3 to 4 or 5 months period. Kids who never like broccoli will start to ask for broccoli, will start to ask for salad. They may not ask, they may just eat more of it, right? You know, kids, right? But it's a known fact. If you start the day with a smoothie, you'll want more healthy food. If you start the day with a donut, you're going to want more starchy sweet food all day. And then the more you eat healthy, the more you have what's called cell memory. It's epigenetics. It's a coding of the genetic system. You want more vegetables. So help your kids get to that healthier diet faster and more easily, rather than coaxing them, have the peas, finish your broccoli. No, just get them on Juice Plus and make healthy food. And you'll see all by itself, after a few months, the kids will start eating better. And another thing you can do, which I hope you all do, is get a tower garden. A tower garden is an aeroponic growing system where you can use inside or out. And I've had towers for like years now, eight years or so, winter and summer. And when a kid grows their own food, they eat it. They love it. They go look at it, nurture it. Is it ready to eat yet? They'll go pick the salad, they'll go pick the cherry tomatoes, the cucumbers. And that's a great way to get kids to eat more, along with the gummies or the capsules.
Yeah, love it, love it. And that's why we always say one of our taglines is we add more good. Instead of focusing on taking away the deprivation, you know, or trying to force the things that they don't want to eat, we just add more good. We get the Juice Plus in their bodies and let that cell memory and that natural process take over. And before long, they're naturally gravitating to it, and you can start to introduce more foods on their plate to them.
And I guess the quick answer to that question would be, why would you wait? If you know you need more produce, then why not just start this stuff now and work on your diet? Why would you wait? This is a cheap, affordable answer, especially with the family health study, where, you know, a child can get Juice Plus for free for 4 years with an adult order. Why would you wait?
Yeah.
That would be my answer.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I heard you say at Level Up last year in January that, you know, I think, again, you're the master at research, so I don't want to quote the numbers, you have them, but the amount of Americans that are getting 10 servings, and one serving is the size of your fist. So the amount that are getting a wide variety of 10 in their system, what is that today?
Not measurable, it's so small. 10, not measurable. 1 in 10 are getting 5.
Yeah.
And they're counting ketchup, iceberg lettuce, right? You know, so it's not even 5.
Yeah. So people that want to change their diet, that's what we encourage. We want people eating more fruits and vegetables, but we know even if they're going to do it, there's only 1 in 10 people that are getting 10 servings. So the chances that they're going to be able to afford that and work that into their lifestyle, they're still going to have to bridge the gap with something. And that's why 70% of Americans are reaching for a multivitamin.
And for $2 a day, an adult and a kid, I'm sorry, but you can't get a cranberry juice for $2. You can't get a pomegranate juice is $6 now. Forget a green drink. That's like $12, $14, right? For the price of Juice Plus, $2 and change, you're getting the stems, the seeds, the roots, something that's been proven by science. You can buy a bottle of water for $2, not much else. You can't get one serving of organic blueberries for the price of a full complement of Juice Plus in one day. So, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The minute someone is aware that their diet needs to change, that in fact they do need more produce in their lives and their kids do too, then Juice Plus should be a no-brainer. And then working on your diet is equally as important, but they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Love that. So can you talk a little bit about our complete shake and why you like that so much?
I do. I do like it a lot. I had it this morning. So Complete is a vegan, non-dairy, non-GMO. Everything in our line is non-GMO and vegan, this FYI. It's a really nice high protein, very high fiber shake. And there are not any other protein shakes on the market because this is my industry. I know this space. There are not any other protein shakes on the market, and there are plenty, and there are some decent ones. None that are completely food, nothing synthetic, and high fiber with really good bioavailable protein. So I like Complete of all of them. It's my first choice. It also has a little bit of research. There'll be more coming, but there is a little bit of research, which is nice too, because no other shake in the market has any research, right? It's made from quality ingredients. And I know this company, I've known them for 20 years. I know their integrity. I know their standards. I know the people in charge of quality assurance, and Lisa Pebble, the inventor of all of this, the grand, hoodoo master. All right. So I know these people personally and well, and I know their standards are very, very high. So the quality of everything that we make is very high. So for example, the prebiotics, which are just plant fibers, right? Prebiotics are nothing but plants, but the prebiotics that are added to the Complete are made from Jerusalem artichokes, which is inulin, which is the most expensive form of prebiotics on the market, but that's what we use because it's the best, right? And so it goes. So there's another 15 different plants in the Complete, along with protein from several sources, my favorite being organic, non-GMO, water-washed soybeans. Soybeans have gotten a bad rap, but just a little digression. Soybeans are good for you. Non-GMO, organic, minimally processed soy is one of the best foods we can all be eating once a day. If you doubt me, just look at Asia. They eat it 2 and 3 and 4 times a day. They live 14 years longer than us, have less breast cancer, less prostate cancer, less ovarian cancer. Like, don't listen to the nonsense on the internet about soy. Look around and see what the real life experience is of real soy, tempeh, tofu, soy milk. That's about it. Edamame beans, right? Not chicken McNuggets made from soy. That's toxic, right? I'm talking about, non-GMO, traditionally made soy foods are really good, especially with so many women on this call, for our bones and for menopausal stuff. 1 serving or 2 of soy a day is magical, and it has no problem with breast cancer. In fact, we now think it's prevention, but it certainly does not make it worse. So that's what we have as one of the sources of protein in Complete, along with ancient grains and sprouts. And sprouts are very cool. They have lots of cool nutrients in sprouts. So that's the protein. And then there's fiber, and there's some slow burn carbohydrates. So it's a complete meal. It lasts me and most of us all through till lunch with no problem. Sometimes actually I have to have people make sure that they eat because it can be too filling. But even though there's a little bit of sugar in there, it's about the amount of sugar of an apple, a little less than an apple. And that's important because it tastes good. And if it doesn't taste good, we wouldn't drink it. But the sugar of an apple plus the fiber, the glycemic index is negligible. I give it to my insulin-dependent diabetics. I give it to one of my patients who has an insulin pump, so she can measure her sugars exactly every second, and she's fine. And all my diabetics have been fine with Complete, even though there is a little bit of that sugar in there. So I love it. And then there's another one called Perform, which is similarly clean, minimally processed soy, but that's it. There's just kind of soy and beetroot and some other antioxidants to improve muscle recovery. That protein powder is specifically for exercisers and working out, post-recovery, pre-recovery for athletes and anyone who just works out. But you can also add a scoop of it to your morning shake just to bring the protein content up too, if you want. So I love both of our shakes.
That's a really good.
It's something that's been proven by science. You can buy a bottle of water.
Well, what did you guys think about that? Oh my goodness, I wrote a lot of notes. I've heard her speak so many times, and I've listened to her videos and her cassettes, and I know that's old, but CDs and DVDs, and she's just amazing. She went back to school to learn more about plant nutrition when she heard about Juice Plus, and she's done so many things. I just want you to remember how important this is, and we need to keep telling people we are just adding good to try to help you do better. That's it. It's just plants. We're just adding some good. And I love what she said when she said, try it for 4 months. And then she said, if you know it was important, why did you wait? I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. I don't want her to tell that to me, but why did you wait? So I hope you guys take notes, maybe go back and listen to it again on the Transform 2022, where it's recorded. I also want to remind you of the call tomorrow night. Please, please, please get on that call. That's tomorrow night. It's all about partner education, and it's about positioning our product, positioning our business. And it's every Tuesday night. It's the same number, and I'll have Kathy put it on the Voxer for NMDs or for anybody in Terry's team. But the number, if you want to know what it is, I'll tell you right now. The Zoom is 974-567-51945, and the password is cash flow. Again, it's at 7 o'clock Central. I'll say it one more time. It's 974-567-51945, and the password is cash flow. And this is mainly for partners. If you are a partner of Juice Plus, you can jump on. Coming in September, it's for anybody. Okay, anybody, prospects, customers, anything. Tomorrow night's for partners alone. But in September, we're going to start a wonderful program, and you'll want to make sure your people know about it, because the first week will be called A New Era in Beginnings. The second week is King of Foods. The third week is Affiliate Income Plus. So we'll be talking about our business. And then the fourth week of every month will be about stories. People will tell their stories of their success, or why they joined, or what Juice Plus did for them. So that will start September 6th. Tomorrow night's the last one that's just for partners. In September, it's for anybody. So please join us if you can. I have been on that call now for about 2 months, and every time it improves. It's getting shorter, more condensed, and you are just going to love the dynamic slides they have on there. It's amazing and beautiful. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I hope y'all learned something. I loved Julie Herp's performance conversation, and I loved Tamara Sachs. She just has so much she adds all the time. So thank you for joining us. I'll see you tomorrow night, and then again next Monday night. All right, have a blessed evening.